Jockey Mike Smith has experienced the thrill of winning the Kentucky Derby on 2 occasions. First with Giacomo in 2005, and again with eventual Triple Crown winner Justify in 2018. Saturday afternoon, the ageless 60-year-old Hall of Famer will get a leg up aboard Santa Anita Derby winner So Happy. He'll emerge from the tunnel beneath the Twin Spires to the playing of my old Kentucky home for the 29th time in his illustrious career. A victory would make Michael Earl Smith the oldest jockey ever to win the Kentucky Derby, surpassing Bill Shoemaker, who guided Ferdinand to victory 40 years ago at age 54. Mike, I got to tell you, you and I have had so many conversations over the years, you would be hard-pressed to find many wines that have aged as well as you have, my friend.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes I don't feel like it, but most of the time I feel pretty darn good, man.
Man, what still motivates Mike Smith?
Man, listen, I truly love what I do, man. I love horses. I love horse racing. I love staying fit, physical fit. I mean, I just love it all, man. And I made it a way of life at a very young age, and it's paying off for me in my later years. I mean, I'm working out and feel just as good as I did when I was in my 40s, man, or early 40s, to be honest with you. I really do.
You know, they say with age comes wisdom. How much, Mike, do you rely on that experience that you've gained over all of these years when you're competing against talented jockeys who are much, much younger?
I've probably forgotten more than they know at this point.
I'm sure.
Sometimes I got to relearn. I got to remember and relearn some of the things that I have learned in the past. But listen, that comes with time, right? I mean, experience comes with putting in the time and the work and the years that I've been blessed to have done this, and it pays off what you lose in a little bit of mobility you gain in wisdom. You just learn how to play the game at a different angle, a different way, and there's a lot of different ways to play the game, you know, and and that's in any sport, really, right? I mean, we've seen them. And listen, nowadays, man, you've seen athletes, go into the later years. I mean, when you're in your 40s in the NBA, you're probably about where I'm at in my profession. Because listen, we don't do the running, right? I mean, the horse does all the running. We just got to stay strong and keep our core strong, our legs strong, and then when you pile on that experience on top of that, man, it really pays off. And that's kind of what I've just been doing now, and I'm enjoying. I'm having just as much fun, if not more, now at this stage in my life and my career than I have ever, to be honest with you.
Do you prepare differently to ride the Kentucky Derby now than you did, let's say, back in the 1980s and 90s?
Yeah, probably. I don't prepare as much. To be honest with you, I probably over-prepared. I think we all do as we're younger, man. You'd run a race through your head 1,000 different times, over and over and over, and all this way and that way. And then you get to the Derby, and you learn that when the doors open, everything changes, man. It's like what you thought it was going to be. So I've learned, to do my handicapping, to prepare, to understand where I'm at, where I think I need to be, and what I need to do when it's actually taking place to get the best out of my mounts and learn to reserve that energy and not spend it all the week before the race even runs, to be honest with you, because, things change. Once in a great while, listen, in a field of 20, things will go exactly like you had planned, but not very often, man. I mean, a lot of things are going to change, You just got to hope that you kind of just play the cards that you're dealt with, and you got to learn how to play, man. Whatever hand that might be. If you hope to jump well, then you go from there, or if you don't, you go from there. Wherever it's at, I mean, you just have to react to that situation, and if you just kind of keep your cool and stay calm, and it helps that you react to those situations a whole lot wiser, I believe, anyway.
I was watching the Masters a few weeks ago, and they were talking about all of the golfers that had experience over the years playing that course and how it's helped them. And every year they come back, they learn something new about Augusta.
Sure.
Is it the same for a jockey riding 1.25 miles at Churchill Downs on the first Saturday in May?
Listen, there's a lot of energy involved, man, and energy can be a wonderful thing, but it can be very dangerous as well, man. I mean, you could, as we've seen over and over and over again with these fields of 20, man, you can do things way too quick, too fast, and it's once you do it, it's too late. You can't get it back. So yeah, learning how to handle the pressure and that energy and learning how to just slow things down, man, and just let the race come to you. A mile and a quarter is a long ways for these young horses, man, and it's very important to get a horse into a good, comfortable rhythm that they're comfortable with, and not what you're thinking you need to be. I mean, you might think I need to be here, and you're pushing them out of their rhythm, or you're pulling them out of their rhythm. You can do both. Learning to just get a horse in its comfortable rhythm and not necessarily yours, and then go from there. Because if you do that, listen, they're going to run from you 9 out of 10 times. They're going to run from you. You just got to work a trip out from there, and if you kind of keep your cool and you slow things down in your head, you can certainly work a trip out a whole lot better than if you sped everything up.
What's the key to making sure that So Happy gets into the proper rhythm?
Well, I mean, the first thing we all want to do as riders, man, we want them standing well and we want them to jump well. Rather if you're going to come from out of it or not, you certainly don't want to give anybody any kind of head start or even have a little hiccup leaving there. So you want to get away well. It's important to get away well early in the race. And then as soon as possible, get them into a play. A lot of people are jockeying for position going into that first turn, as you know, and you can get shuffled back and knocked down. So you want to get them out of there and get them going forward. And then if you need to back off the pedal a little, you could do that. Or if you need to push it a little, you can do that. And then once you get into that turn, man, that's where you want them already into a rhythm. And if you can do that, man, that's when you know you got a big chance. Because horses, for some odd reason in the Derby, they're done at the 5/8 pole, man. They'll start coming back at you quick. It's crazy how it is. Whereas normally you don't see that. Horses will go a pretty good ways before they start getting tired and coming back at you. But for the Derby, man, they start dropping like flies.
What's the one thing that So Happy has shown you that gives you the confidence that he's a true mile and a quarter legitimate Kentucky Derby horse?
But no one knows. I'm not even too sure if any of them really want to go a mile. And they'll all get a mile and a quarter, but do they really all want to go?
True.
A mile and a quarter, I'm not sure. You want to get a mile and eighth. If you can get a mile and eighth really good, 9 times out of 10 you'll get the Derby distance, right? I mean, even if it's on fumes, you'll get it. And the way he ran in the Santa Anita Derby, he certainly needed to win to get the points to get in. But it's the way he won that made me really, really believe that he's a true contender. Not only did he win, but he was drawing away at the end. And man, when I pulled him up, he recovered really quick, man. He came right back, had a lot of energy. Next morning, he ate up, man. He had his head out the front of the stall, man. He wasn't back in the back lying down. I mean, it's like he didn't get tired, So all of that together, and the fact that each time he's run, he's just gotten better and better. His numbers have gotten better. His times have gotten better. He gets a whole lot more out of his races than he does training. He's not that flashy at all in the morning, Mike, to be honest with you. If you watched him work, you would just think he's just an okay horse. But, man, in the afternoon, he knows the difference between practice and game time, and he just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. And if he'll move forward off, which he has every race, and if he'll just move forward off the Santa Anita Derby, man, that makes him a true contender.
When you won that first Kentucky Derby, Mike, with Giacomo, and you won it for the late John Sheriffs, and he's going to be remembered on this Derby day now that he's passed. He just was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is fantastic. If you can win this one, you're going to win it for Mark Glatt, who is still mourning the loss of his wife, Dina, who passed away suddenly back in February. Man, how much would you love to cross the finish line and turn around and come back and meet him in the winner's circle?
Man, I there's no words that can describe what it would mean to him, to his family, to me, to the owners, but especially to Mark. There's no words to describe that, buddy. it'd be just amazing.
It would be a powerful story. Mike Smith, the Hall of Famer, looking to add another Kentucky Derby victory to his resume coming up on Saturday afternoon. He has the experience. Maybe that's enough to get him over the edge. And so happy, as you heard him say, getting better and better with every single start. Mike, for you personally, to win a third Kentucky Derby, become the oldest jockey ever to win the Kentucky Derby, what's that mean to you?
Listen, early on in my life and my career, I prayed about getting the opportunity to win the Derby, and I always had this crazy dream that I was going to win 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I pray about it, and I've worked at it. I really have, and I've truly believed it. I've felt it. I've just always felt that, and so as the years kept coming, it took me a long time to get my first. And then after one, not only did another come, but the Triple Crown came with it, and now getting this opportunity now at the stage of my career, at my age, man, it's just amazing, and it would mean so much. And listen, they're all special, man, in their own way, but this would be pretty incredible.
It's the only race you're going to ride Saturday afternoon, the Kentucky Derby. It's a long wait for a jockey sitting in that jock's room. How do you keep yourself occupied?
Well, I won't get there quite that early, Mike. I'll get there. Of course, plenty of time to watch a lot of the races and just keep an eye on the track and how I think it's playing and what's going on. But man, I get in the room, man. I relax, and there's a lot of stuff going on in there. I get to meet a lot of people to meet and talk, and I've already done all my homework and handicapping, and it's just a matter of relaxing and staying loose and cool. And about an hour and a half before the race, I'll go into the little gym in there, and I'll warm myself up, get ready to go, get rid of all that lactic acid, man, get ready to freaking give it all I got, buddy. And then that's it. I'll be ready to go.
And if you could go back in time, Mike, and ride one Kentucky Derby over again, one that you didn't win, which one would you like to have a do-over?
To have a do-over? Let me see. I guess, man, I still to this day, it just blows my mind how Holy Bull didn't win the Derby. He was just, to me, he was just better than they were. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the horse that won the Derby or the horses that he ran against, but I think he proved before that and after that he was the best 3-year-old that year. He went on to beat older horses in the Met Mile, went on to be Horse of the Year as a 3-year-old. He was just an incredible horse, and for whatever reason, man, Mike, that day he just didn't show up. It wasn't anything that I did. He wasn't there from the time I got on him for whatever reason, and didn't leave there running like he always did and always did after that, and just didn't perform at all. I wind up splitting the field, and he never got beat again after that. So, man, I thought the only trouble I was going to have winning the Derby was staying on him when they got done with my old Kentucky home, because he had to go without a pony, and he was very rambunctious and loved to play and very aggressive, and man, he didn't even turn a hair, man. He didn't even jump or anything. I'm thinking, whoa, well, I was trying to talk myself into thinking, well, this is real good. He's acting real calm today, But he just stayed that way, even in the run of the race. And to this day, it's just dumbfounded over that performance and of why he didn't try at all. So I guess that would be one that I'd like to not necessarily ride it any different, but to hope that he would have just been himself and ran the race that I know he could have run that day. I think that he was the kind of horse that could have went on and win all 3 of them.
Yeah, it was a head scratcher. He certainly, as you know, my all-time favorite horse, and I was devastated that day when he didn't show up and run his race. But, karma's a funny thing. You come back 11 years later, you win your first one with a son of Holy Bull named Giacomo.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, man? See, this stuff, you can't make this stuff up, man. This is God stuff, man. This is kind of 50-1. I go in on a Holy Bull 50-1, It's just crazy. Just crazy.
Well, Mike, you provided so many great moments. You're always a class act. I love catching up with you. All the best in the Kentucky Derby. I hope you get that third one, and I know it would be special and emotional afterwards. Maybe the greatest story of the whole Kentucky Derby if you can do it for Mark Lapp.
In God's will, man. If it's God's will, it'll happen.
Amen, brother. Go get it done. Safe trip.
All right. Thank you, man. Nice talking to you, Mike.